could cause many a heart, right, over the next couple of weeks to unfreeze. Yes, baby, unfreeze. Be prepared to fall on waves of emotion. Yes, yes, yes. Why? Because some of you are going to be what? Getting that love bug. Big cat. Listen, I don't know which implement to grab. I nearly grabbed the whip, the mallet, and the bat. Falling in love, are you, divine feminine? Are you being that free with your emotions without the investigation? You better make sure you investigate them, darling dear. Otherwise, what? You'll be sorry. Yes, baby. And you don't like being sorry. But anyway, let's carry on at a hot trot, darling dear. It's a time for when major relationships are going to be kicking off. And as I said, we do the boosie badass around here. Everyone gets interviewed, blood. I don't care who it is or who they come with. Who sent you? These kind of questions you must ask them, darling dears. For those of you not interested in romance, Venus in Pisces will be a time for you to harmonize other relationships in your life with your colleagues, family, friends. It's a time for healing. But don't, I repeat, don't ignore your intuition or your feelings, darling dear. Your feelings matter. Your feelings are important, divine feminine. Somebody tried to F you over, darling dear. They wanted you to take it without the Vaseline for air. But your ancestors didn't take it lightly. Yes. And now they have to pay for it. This is why I keep saying, when you're minding your own business, you're being nice to people, and they go out of their way to do wickedness to you, darling dears. And they think they got away with it. Nah, babe. There's always the back end to pay. And guess what? Karma is a patient gangster, especially when it's been paid under the table by your ancestral team, darling dears. Yes. They're going for a wicked time, darling dear. One which is extremely hairline taking. Let's dive in, darling dears. Let's dive in and see what goes on. We're going to get our armor rune stone to kick it off. As I'm saying, when you do something to someone, on this 3D, if you do something to someone, there's a crowd. Look around the crowd to see who is offended by what was done to someone, darling dears. But in your case, divine feminine, chosen of your lineage, prototype, I begs you be, bender of the matrix, you came back to what? Solve and heal your ancestors' karma. And you was doing great up until you met this bottom-feeding tree sloth with wicked intent, darling dear. They tried to sock it to you, but guess what? They did for a little bit, and now the sockation is on they, them, and because your ancestors didn't take it lightly, mess up the karma that you was fixing for them. Good God, the effrontery of it all. Good gosh, what did I say? NATAL, this is represented by the Sun card in Tarot, darling dears. On its face, darling dears, leaning divine feminine, it's represented by the letter N, the number 32, 33, 34, and 35. The Strength card doing a full roly-poly, darling dears, speaks about somebody who is extremely needy, needing to what? F people over, needing someone else's money, needing someone's energy, needy. Well, guess what? They've got the big D in their life. What's that? Distress and drudgery, darling dears. I told you, when you do something to someone, especially a chosen one, darling dears, one of the 144,000 of their generation, you're going to get it. And it's going to be wicked. Wicked, divine feminine, wicked. Don't feel sorry for them. And don't take them back. That would be a big mistake. And in some cases, divine feminine, they tried to what? Monkey branch to somewhere else and found themselves at the bottom of the pit with the what? Jezebel spirit. Yeah, with nothing but what? Panani to offer. Listen, Panani and Futum is all well and good, darling dear, but you can't take that to the electricity company and pay your bills with it, darling dears. No, you can't put Panani or Futum into your chariot of righteousness as petrol, darling dears. No, and there's only so much effing you can do with one person when the sweat dries. There's not even money. There's no Skrilla on the tableau to even buy a little juice, right? To ease the thirst. I swear to God, big cat, divine feminine. Let's dive in. I'm a bit late today, darling dears. I had to go out today. I had to go to my spin class, and then I wasn't looking forward to it, darling dears. I had to go and do shopping. I had to go and get food because the children get so rambunctious if there isn't food. And not only that, I had to do a double whammy. Not only did I have to buy the food, I had to cook that bitch as well. I made Chinese noodles with lots of vegetables, darling dears, and then I made some honey roast chicken breast so that would ease their hunger pangs when they come off that dirty road, or as we say in Jamaica, the dirty road. I was so busy, but I didn't forget my bestie, Divine Feminine. I was coming, but I had to do many things. Sometimes you'd like to hand back in your mother card. And if I hand back in the card, right, when they got back from school and college, they'd have a whole naked chicken like this, just waiting for them to do something to it. They didn't deserve it. They've been good. Hey! Anyhow, let's press on. Thank you very much. Loves Kimberly for the super chat. You know I'll be spending it on what? The honeydew melons. Yes, because I eat from no one, darling dears. They're always in a baggie. I've got a baggie. Oh, I said baddie. Good golly and gosh. Freudian slip. Meant to come out. You are a baddie, darling dear. The baddest of them all. Why? You didn't do what they did, darling dear. When you realized that your hairline was escaping to the back of your cranium, right, you was Brock Pocketers. Buddy, have you got a dime? You realized that smell between your legs wasn't of the ordinary kind of smell. You said, I'm not having it, lad. Not today. Or any other day. There's a G in it, darling dear. And you got out quick, smart, and in a hurry. And your ancestors was going like this. And then they tried to set you up. As you what? Got away. Well, we're going to see what happened with that, darling dear. Let's get the Love Oracle cards. Where are they? Oh, yeah. True Love Oracle deck. Let's see what's going on. What do your ancestors want you to know? Divine Feminine, they set you up. Tisk, tisk, tisk. More fool them, darling dear, as they get it without the... Your ancestors don't play, darling dears. You have to remember, they don't live on a time clock, darling dears, so they're always popping in to what? Show them the what? Wiki, wiki, wiki. Dub played remix. And as I said, your ancestors passed a little change, right, for that strange behavior under the table, straight into Karma's palm. So guess what? Them getting it. Them a get it. They messed with the wrong one. They didn't know who was capable of you in the spiritual world. What's this? Forgiveness, darling dear. This is the best way to deal with them, Divine Feminine. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Why do you forgive them? So that you can call judgment on them. In Keitha, you gave your ancestral team carte blanche to do what thou willst amongst those wicked people. They was wicked. They was wicked and they was diligent. Now they're being paid back. But you must remember, always forgive them, darling dears. I know it's very hard, especially if you're allowing them to live rent-free in your cranium. And if you're allowing them to live rent-free in your cranium, Divine Feminine, I told you what to do, right? There's no need for you to start shaking and crying now. I told you what's going to happen if you keep letting them live rent-free in your cranium. You must go to the mirror. I don't need to repeat myself because you've heard me say this many times. But for the new ones coming in, I might as well just give you a quick run through of what you must do when you're at the mirror, right? Look deep into your eye chakras, right? And then get the jazz hands and beat the shit out of your own face, right? We've gone past the slapation, darling dear, because some people needs to beat their face in, right? Until blood and spittle flies, yes. Then wash your face like David and come back so we can finish talking about what's going on. Forgive them, darling dear. What's this? Forgive them and I am forgiven. And I forgive myself. You must forgive yourself, darling dear. Some of you nearly went to prison with the prisoners over what they did to you, but you didn't go. What's this trying to pop out? Yes, baby. A connection, darling dear, but there's all cods around here. Yes, you was connected to these people. It could have been a love relationship. You thought they was a soulmate, when I know for a fact, right, this was no twin flame. It was old blowtorch, darling dear. The user and the abuser. So it was a love relationship, was it? Your love and their hate. Because I'm telling you, only someone that hates you would do what they did, darling dears. Especially when you came through with goodness and mercy. Did they show you any mercy, Divine Feminine? When they was what? Talking it to you? When they was bending over and busting it wide? Did they show you any mercy? I'm not going to hold my breath and wait because nobody's going. Listen, shut up, case. Okay, right? Immature bottom feeders, right? They should have listened to their intuition and not what's fanned the flame of the wickedness they tried to what perpetrate in your hemisphere. Well, guess what? It's been handled. You can't offend the chosen one and think you're going to get away with it, especially when your ancestral team saw you doing the due diligence in the DNS. You didn't stay there too long, darling dear. You became a keyboard gangster. You understood that you was dealing with what? Psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, and other what? Bottom feeding. It's called the what? Pimple on the arse of life, darling dear. That's what they were. Right? And they thought when they got away from the situation or you released them, this basura, right? They thought when they went to the raccoons, right, that they've gotten off scot-free. Nah, blood. Your ancestors does not have a watch, darling dear, and they've got a long memory, especially when they remember that they nearly took you off your what gangster, darling dears, of healing their karma. Yes, baby, them I get it. What's this? Love of thyself, darling dear. Never you forget, when you're loving things, divine feminine, that you put yourself at the top of the list, right? Because you can't love anyone unless you love thyself. And when you love thyself, there's certain circumstances and situations that is below your spiritual pay grade, and you can't be involved in it, darling dear. I forgot to tell you about Pisces. Pisces, right? Yes, it's ruled by Neptune, but it's also the house of what? Hidden enemies, darling dears. You've got a hater on your tail. All right, a hater on my tail, I'd be a twerking cat, I tell you that. On my tail, not minding their own business, focus on what I've got going on. Really? Listen. Let's carry on. Let me get a deck to do this reading. And let's see what's going on. Right? They set you up, divine feminine. They wanted you to fail or be barking at passing cars, dressing like Quasimodo's bestie in them streets, darling dear, worried about where they've gone, right? Because Venus is about relationships. It's about you looking at what you went through before, darling dear, but not living on it, darling dear. Neptune is about your spirit, darling dears, your deeper self. This is a call for you to what? Go within before you get involved in any kind of situation or circumstance with something that looks good on the outside, right? But is what? Wicked on the inside. Because remember, sugar can be mistaken for salt. Not me, darling dears, because my salt, I only use the pink Himalayan one, right? And I could never mistake it for salt. But then again, most people are still using the generic ones, right? They don't love their life. They want to die. Continue to buy the generic salt, yeah? Where it's got everything in it, right? Everything that's bad for yo-yo. But anyway, I told you I'm a chatty cat. There's a chatty cat, and there's no one to check me mood. Let's see what they did, divine feminine. My eyes are slitty, and I've got that, that disgusted curl to my lip. Because I know. What's this? Oh! There was black, there was an ice box where their heart was meant to be. This was not a loving relationship, or it was a one-sided loving relationship. You loved them, they didn't love you. They loved what you brought to the table. They loved your energy. They loved the fact that when they was in your hemisphere, their life was what? Plus tax, darling dear. They was on the up and up, but this person was cold, or people's mean. You was attracted to the situation, this immature bottom feeder. They had a plan for you, divine feminine, one they concocted long before Donkey killed Philippe. They don't like the fact that you're winning, darling dear. This is about you, what? Coming into the light. Some of you are on a public arena. Maybe you're a singer, a comedian, an actor. You may even be on social media, darling dears. But whatever you're doing, these black-heartedens, right? They aren't loving it. They don't like it. They don't like the fact that you love themselves. And they don't like the fact that resolve conflict, it was in the reverse blood. It's over. It's over. Look. Yeah, even your answers are saying how, who want to come back where? Listen, You know your worth. And added tax because you love yourself, darling dears. It took you a while to get back to being yourself. You had to take it one stage at a time, darling dear. When I first left that terrible situation where it was a season of darkness, darling dears, right? I had to love myself a piece at a time. I started working on my clavicle bone and I loved the shit out of it. I love my clavicle bone, and then one day it just spread through me. It was like the Grinch who stole Christmas. All of a sudden my heart started to beat again, right? And not the jungle drum beat of what? Leave the house in the middle of the night case. Leave the house with your cameras looking like, was it fuzzy prison braids? Leave the house without any form of your electrical devices so that your footsteps would not be tracked by any tower. Yes. Took a while for you to get back to who you was, but you will never, divine feminine, be the cat you was before. Why? Because you were open to skullduggery and the skulduggeress, and they put you on the rocks of life. And now they've got to watch you win, these cold black-heartedens. Let me get 2 more cards and then we're going to read them down. Of late I've not been fancying much of a throuple, right? I'm going for a 4, right? 4 is about what? Manifestation mode, security, as well as stability, darling dears. Yeah, what did I say? What they did, your ancestors did not take it lightly, right? But you have to remember, darling dears, sometimes this wickedness, no, not sometimes, all of the time, when wickedness happens to you, darling dear, it has to happen to you in order for you to wake up. Wake up. For you to understand whom you are. This also speaks about your ancestors were patient, darling dear, waiting for them to feel that they was winning in life. But then all of a sudden, they met people just like them. They're in a situation where there was some they've got some cold-hearted back, front, neck, stabbers. They get the S, blood. They get the S. Patience, darling dear. You was on a very hard journey you had to overcome. But know this, as your ancestors want you to know, it's been handled. Trust and believe. Just because you can't see them getting it without the Vaseline doesn't mean it's not happening, blood. Me know this for a fact. Yeah, hey. What's this? Look who they tried to piss. Listen. You're the empress of everything, darling dear. Earth and Saturn energy. Earth and Venus energy. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Abundant. Right? Knowing your worth and adding tax. They would love to come back and mess up your life again, darling dear. This Brock Pocketer's page. Pwah! Listen. All of their opportunities are being blocked now because of what they did to you, divine feminine. Remember I told you that. They're at the bottom of the pit, right? With a whole what? Dummy bat. A dummy bat that can't provide what you provided. They didn't understand that your energy made what blessings come their way, right? 4 of Pentacles. And they're about to be displaced, possibly chucked out on the street, or the bill collectors at the door. All things are going wrong for them. Their cranium ain't righted, blood. It's not righted. They lost a lot of things that they thought they was leaving with a bag, darling dear. But apparently it was your bag. It was open. It was open and empty. I only wanted 4. And now we've got what? 6. The energy of the 6, darling dears. Let's lean in and see what's going on with that. It speaks about cooperation and teamwork. It also brings into energy what the lovers about the right choices you made, darling dear. Never you ever second guess that you was wrong to leave a situation. I don't care who the hell it was, right? Because the cups, it speaks about relationships. Venus speaks about relationships, right? You had to leave those circumstances and situations and nurture unto thyself in order for what? So that you could sock it to them, Scotty. Sock it to them. Right. What about this black-hearted then? Right? Ace of Cups on its face. It also speaks about, for some of you, darling dears, they did something to you while you was pregnant. Was they abusive? I don't know. But this is a page, darling dear. This is someone who has low self-esteem, darling dears. Somebody who put all of their what? Their issues and problems onto you. This empty vessel, darling dears. Someone who did not bring to the tableau a quarter of what you brought to the tableau. I will be going in and out of English, Jamaican patois, and a bit of Cockney rhyming slang. Keep up, big cat. Yes, they did all of this wickedness, right? I'm not going to shuffle anymore. Look, what did I say? You gave them king or queen status in your life, Divine Feminine. You really rolled out that red carpet, darling dear. Until you realize that roll of red carpet led to your what? Downfall, darling dears. This person or people are sad. They're crying into their fist. Luke 62:22. Well, guess what? Isaiah 48:22. No rest for the wicked, blood. What did they think? They thought they'd get away with that shit. They were successful. What they did, they were successful. They were successful, that Divine Feminine, right? In what? Manipulating you with that what? The icebox where their heart should have been, darling dears. They were successful. I can't listen. I was about to read the successful card, but what exactly did the ancestors do? Where did they listen? They hit them up in their wallet, their pocketbook, their handbag. They put them with a what? A bitter Betty or a bitter Benjamin, or better known, aka Hyacinth Bucket or Horatio Bucket. Yes, and what rhymes with bucket? That's right, Divine Feminine. Yes, somebody who's jealous, darling dears. Someone who closed their eyes to true adult responsibilities. I told you. And look, the Panani of Atom is in the air like a gang sign. Imagine that. They gave up a whole empress, effed over a whole empress, right? For a Jezebel spirit. Where's my shiznai? I can't believe this. Revelations 2:20, guys. Pay attention. This is what they traded you in for, darling. Well, they didn't have a choice, mate. Especially when you said, get out. And you showed them weapons. In some cases, some people's like this in their face. Yeah, you show them your karate moves, darling dears. Yes. They thought that you was just going to the library. Nah, blood, you was going to self-defense classes. Your ancestors made sure that they went to the right person for them, darling dear. Somebody who would see them as what? The king or queen of peace, darling dear. Somebody that would drain them down to their last skrillers and not pay any attention. Whomsoever they're with. The Queen of Pentacles also represents a parent, a mother. What's going on with my screen? I moved something. Oh, that's it. Because, if they've got progeny, this is no one's mother, right? They've got delinquents for progeny, darling dears. They're getting exactly what they truly deserve. And they get the chance to watch you being successful because you're the empress. You might even have progeny with this person, or you may even be pregnant at this moment in time. They get to watch you win, darling dears, because your ancestors don't play. They like to wake people up at the 3 a.m. and say, what bottom feeder? We've got more to show you. You're not supposed to sleep. Yeah, somebody's bitter and jealous, darling dears, and manipulative. Ooh, it's getting fancy, Divine Feminine. Fancy. The magician on its face. This is a trick star. Yeah. When you became a track star, your ancestors made sure that they went to a trick star. Yeah. They're getting it, darling. They are someone who is a liar, right? An airbender, right? And this person, they take no responsibility, darling dears. They think that they can what if their way out of any situation. I told you. The SEX is all fabulous and gorgeous and lovely, but if you can't even afford to buy a bit of juice when you're finished, the thirstians, darling dear, they're thirsty. Manipulative just like them. What else did the ancestors do to them? Right? Two of Swords. Now they sit down wondering if they made the right decision. Right? Look, the birds represent higher minds, spiritual realm, darling dear. They're being attacked, darling dear, in this web of lies with this what? Black widow spider, darling dears. Or should I say broke bitch or broke Mitch? And it's toxic. Wow. Imagine that. They called all of this and that in on themselves. Yes, they did, Divine Feminine. It's been handled. You need not do. Don't let your heart go boom diddy boom. I told you, Divine Feminine. Focus on your bag. Get the knowledge. Whatever subject you're in, whatever job you do, make sure that you are an expert in your field. Every day, take half an hour to learn something more about what it is that you've got going on in your life. I've told you many times, get to the cryptocurrencies. Anytime the government says, no, 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 it's not good for you, you must say, yes, 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 yes. And remember, right, Venus, remember I told you, Venus is about money, right? Yes, yes. And Venus is not going to be back in Pisces until 2026. Didn't I tell you, right? The biggest amount of wealth, right, is being shifted between 2023 and 2026, darling dears. So you better get your investments on, Divine Feminine. If you don't understand cryptocurrency, there's a lovely course which I took on Udemy, cost me $16.99 Skrillers, and it shows you how to invest and make a retirement plan. Don't do what Usain Bolt did. Listen, he trusted the Jamaicans in Jamaica. Listen, listen, I'm not telling off the Jamaicans because I am from Jamaican parentage, but I'm not putting 10 million, that's over 1 billion, 1.5 billion Skrillers into an account. And guess what the woman did, right? The one that took his money. She went to court and she pooed all over herself. Next thing you know, they see her walking down the road, right? With one shoe off and going, pretending that she's crazy. Listen, me not care how crazy you think you is. Listen, in Jamaica, where you can be picked off just like that, baby. Listen, I can't even, it doesn't even bear thinking of, darling dear. My hairline wants to escape underneath my lace front. 1 billion of my Skrilla, and me just I take it lightly. I'm taking you to court. Nah, black. I think some people would have kidnapped that woman. She'd have been kidnapped and tortured until she told them where the Skrilla was. And imagine the owner of the investment company where Usain Bolt put his money said that he didn't even know that he was a client. How could you not know that someone who's got 1 million Skrillers invested in your company, you didn't even know about it? Lie them, I tell. And in Jamaica, right, you see, let me tell you how most Jamaicans see Usain Bolt. They see God. They see Jesus. Then they see Bob Marley. And right behind Bob Marley is Usain Bolt, the 8-time gold medal winner, right? If they could hoodwink him, just imagine what they do to you and I, Divine Feminine. This is why what? Wisdom is for the wise. And if you are, as I said many times, investing in the cryptocurrency, make sure that you have a cold wallet so that as you buy them, you put the currency straight into your cold wallet so that you can't lose them, darling dear. Anyhow, like I was saying, your ancestors, look at this. Your ancestors are patient, darling dears, and they paid karma under the table to ensure that they got what? A Jezebel spirit. Someone who lived in their wallet like what? A mummy in a sarcophagus? Sarcophagus? Yes. Laid on that money because they thought they was winning, darling dear. But whomsoever this black-hearted person was to you, they wish they'd loved you, darling dear, and reciprocated the emotion and what the intellect you gave to them, darling dear, your time and energies. And if you got progeny with them, darling dear, this person is crying because I told you, the bottom-feeding Jezebel spirit they find themselves with. If they've got progeny, those progeny are delinquents. They're probably shot in drugs. They took to... Oh. I nearly told you something that my son told me, right? But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you, right? I might tell you another day, but I can't tell you today. No, man. Because I've got to act like I don't know. My job, every time my progeny go with their father, they come back and tell me everything. I told you they used to, in the beginning, when they first came back and was telling me things, I used to meet them at the door, right? Because O'Shea likes Foxy's Glacier Mints. He doesn't like chocolate. He doesn't. Ice cream, cake, none. He don't like them things. And Karma like chocolate. So I had a big bar, all right, of Galaxy smooth and creamy chocolate for Karma and the Foxy's Glacier Mints for O'Shea. So they shut their mouth as soon as they come through the door until I was in my right headspace, right? Because if they kept telling me these things when I wasn't in my right headspace, right, I'd be in prison with the prisoners, just like R. Kelly. This is what they got, a Jezebel spirit that shut their eyes to the reality of a situation, right? Someone who is a liar, a hoodwinker, an airbender. Yes. Somebody who is what? A perpetrator of the gingivitis. Someone who they wish, they're sitting down, darling dears. They feel as though that they had a choice between, they never choice. Because if you're going to choose between, if you're having to choose between a divine feminine and a Jezebel spirit, a streetwalker, or should I say a night crawler, yeah, a night crawler, right? Choose the other person, yeah? Choose the other person. Because they're going through toxic mayhem. Someone who's emotionally manipulative, darling dears. And someone who talks about everything that goes on in the house with their what? Other bottom feeding friends. Yes. And what are they having to watch happen to you, darling dear? Because you're winning. You're looking shiny, shiny, shiny in them streets. Because your ancestors weren't having it blood, bruh, or sistrine. It's been handled. What are they seeing? They're seeing victory and success. You look so good, divine feminine. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? You built yourself up. Your hairline is replenished. Some of you are public speakers, singers, maybe even dancers in the public eye, darling dears. You may even be a what? A public servant, a civil servant, whatever it is, darling dear. You've been doing fabulous, gorgeous and lovely, as only a big cat can, especially when your ancestors didn't take what they did to you lightly. Base of the deck, darling dear. Red light, green light champion on its face, darling dears. Your ancestors, you understood that you are not going into any part. This is partnerships, making connections, darling dears. Listen, you're not a dummy bet anymore, divine feminine. What happened to you in the past will never happen to you again. Listen, you've decided to leave Foolio alone. The Fool card in the upright is represented by air as well as Uranus energy. You became the rebel in your life, darling dears. Yes, baby. It also speaks about a partner coming towards some of you. Some of you, it may be business, it may be romantical, darling dears, but it's somebody coming towards you in the not too distant future. Because I told you Venus is languishing in Pisces until the 20th of February. So don't go out your house. If you're looking for love, right? Don't leave your house looking like the crypt keeper. Baby, I know how easy it is to slip out of your bed in your pajamas, drag on a couch, right, and your Crocs. But good God, I'm not telling you to put on full makeup, darling dears, but at least run a brush through your lace front, darling dears, and brush your teeth. And when you're brushing your teeth, make sure that you're using the what? Where is it? The Kingfisher toothpaste that's got no fluoride in it. So you're cleaning off your pineal gland. So your intuition and your discernment will be on 1000. And no, it's not a paid promotion. I told you, divine feminine, we are besties. And when I win, so do you. Yes, darling dear. You ain't gonna allow nobody to take you off your gangster again. Foolio who? Foolio where? Nah, babe. This is about you being spontaneous. It also speaks about you not wanting to be under anybody's control. This person was a mind controller, right? They were so manipulative. And now the manipulator is being manipulated, darling dears. And it also speaks about the karma of it all. Somebody stuck in a situation. Cadento have it. What was once a fat wallet was well and truly taken care of, darling dears. This is the delinquent children that they surrounded themselves with. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth roof. Pinkies up. Yes, baby. Foolio. They wanted you to be kept inside a box. They didn't want you to realize your true power. Realize that you are the everything, darling dear. From the invite to the whole 6-course meal, the aperitif, some coffee, and the Uber home. You are the prize, divine feminine. You always were. The same things that attracted them to you in the first place is the same things they tried to beat you down with. Why? Because they couldn't imitate your gangster. And because you gave them king-like treatment. You're now going to do that again. This is about you continuing to move forward, right? Taking a leap of faith. Being what? The own key in your back, darling dears. Realizing that the time that you took to reflect was the best thing. Yes, all of this and that. And you're being a bit more spontaneous, darling dear. Divine wants you to take a risk. Take a risk, a leap of faith towards what? Ace of Pentacles. Working on your finances, darling dears. Some of you haven't managed your finances. You haven't got them where you want them to be. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. And because in the upright, this is opportunities that are being gifted to you by the universe. Divine wants you to take a risk. If it's not coming towards you, darling dears, you create these opportunities for yourself. Why? Because you're a big cat and you're divine feminine. And you're clever. You're so clever, you're a brain box. Create the opportunities that you want, darling dear. This is not the time for you to what? Close your eyes and lean back in faith. Divine wants you to work for it. Why? Because anything that you get easy, you have to remember, when something comes to you easy, darling dear, all it does is feed your ego. But when you have to work on it, darling dear, take this risk, right? Take these leaps of faith. It will build your character. And character is something that no one can take for you. It leads the way for you, darling dears. We're building character around here. Base of the deck. We've got the star card on its face, and you're not healing that situation. You said 2 of these and 1 of those, and a quick, because you love yourself now. You don't want to resolve the conflict. Why? It'll be the whisperings of Hannibal Lecter, darling dears. And you'll be brown bread by dawn. Create these opportunities for yourself, darling dears. I told you, go to your birth natal chart. Find your North Node. You will find your superpowers, darling dears. And then how to make it into a business? The 2nd, the 6th, and the 10th house will show you how to what? Fine-tune your superpowers into a career so that you can make the Skrilla in silence and sit on your Skrilla like Matt Duck. Empress of everything. You was kind. You was kind. You was in nurturing. Yeah. All of this and that. This in the reverse, darling dears, is also a loss of a pregnancy. Some of you lost a pregnancy around there. They will listen. And the vigilance, somebody was violent to you, darling. They're physically violent. Well, guess what? They can't do it anymore. You're keeping your expectations high, darling dears. It was a toxic situation where you was given the short end of the stick. Why? Because your ancestors wanted you to wake up. And it was part of the contract that you signed before you came back as a volunteer, divine feminine. Yeah, and I told you, you're a brain box. You are so clever and highly intelligent. We've got 2 aces on the tableau, darling dears. When we see 2 aces on the tableau, especially with the what? The pentacles as well as the swords, whether they're up or down, darling dear. The risk that you take, darling dear, you have the intellect to work out whatever it is, to tap into it. Why? Because you are a creatrix, divine feminine. And this is your season to suck it to them. The Ace of Swords also speaks about something coming in quickly, and it also reminds you what? This is clarity, darling dears. This is not you looking at the grey area. Look at the black and white of the situation and realize that it was a certain amount of steps you had to take to release yourself from that situation. This is why it will never, ever, 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 ever happen to you again. 8 of Swords. All they can do is think about you, darling dear. You, who is single as fuck, darling dear. They can't understand how you managed to what? Not die. They wanted you to lay down and die on their behalf whilst they're with this Jezebel spirit who's brock-pocketous, an effing liar, a manipulator, magician on its face, is not above what? Spellcastation, darling dear. Listen, it's time for this person, right, to develop an eating and drinking what? Disorder, darling dears. Yeah. Now they're worried about what they chose, this toxic trick. Oh well. Oh well. What about this brock-pocketous page? No money, right? Oh my God. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I told you they're trapped in a situation and they can't leave. What's this? Oh, that's a lot of cards on the floor. Oh my God, look! The contracts you make, was it the webs you weave when you practice to deceive? This is a toxic situation that they can't leave, right? And it's their judgment, look, because of what they did to you, darling dears. They were supposed to manifest security around you, darling dears. Be a protector and provider, or what? A good co-partner, darling dears. I told you your ancestral team gave karma something under the table, blood. And they're getting the wiki dubplate remix of Karma, darling dears. The never-ending story. Yeah. And it when, as Cardi B says, what? When it's up, it's stuck. Yeah. They're stuck in a situation that they can't leave. We see the magician in the reverse. When we see that, that's spell work, darling dears. Good God. And if they're dipping their shit, good, oh Lord Jesus. Let me sip my mocha, right? Because my hairline comes first. That's the judgment. That's what you get. That's what you get. You're unable to leave that situation. All right, give me one card. Is it really spell work that's keeping them there? The Hierophant in the reverse. Yes, it is. If God was in the situation, it would have come out in the upright. This is in the reverse. Base of the deck, darling dears. What's this? The Four of Wands. This is not an 11-11 fade, darling dear. This is what? Straight up F shit. Look what they're living with, darling dears. Point A and point B. I know it's tattered, but we have to bring it out so often, divine feminine. So often. Outrageous for sure. But again, Isaiah 48:22. No rest for the wicked. When your ancestors made sure that you came off the field and went into the barn, you went in there, right, and became a brain box, darling dear. This goes to 9 of Swords. This also speaks about the depression, the down-pressed time that you went through, but you used that energy, darling dears. You spun it around and you became the brain box. You used your higher intellect, darling dear. And the Swords also speaks about spiritual downloads. You was intuitively guided, darling dears, to get great and not live in the DNS. I had to look over my shoulder because you don't want to stay there too long, darling dear. It's not fabulous, you know. Base of the deck, like I said, the Four of Wands on its face, darling dears. On its face. It speaks about what? A home environment where there's a lot of tension, right? Because people can just pop off here. Right? And it also speaks about they're in a situation where there's a lack of harmony, right? And they're not connected, darling dears. You can't connect through just the SEX. And this person is a spellcaster for sure. This Jezebel spirit that they picked up with, darling dear. This person is nervous. Nervous, darling dears. King of Cups. Trying to master their emotions at this moment in time. Why are they trying to master their emotions? Didn't they get what they wanted? Didn't they get what they wanted? No, they got what the duck got. They got fucked, darling dear. World card on its face. It's a never-ending story. In the upright, they'd be able to get out of the situation. But when you try to use spell work to keep someone in a situation, darling dear, take away someone's free will. If they wasn't such a dummy bat and a tree sloth that was too busy, having a panani off a tom in the air like a gang sign, they would have seen this. It would have been so obvious. But oh no. They wanted to keep this person who, look, when they met him, they was like this, and now they're like this. Brak Portus, it was all your energy, darling dears. It was your light that made them what? Feel as though they had wings and they could fly. And the only thing they flew into was what? Where is it? A Jezebel spirit, darling dears, that shut their eyes to the catastrophe that they're living in. Why? Because they want this person, no, by any means. That's their business. That's their business. Now I feel upset. Not with them, darling dear. I just think, oh, good. They didn't know who you were. Now they know, darling dear. And remember, it's not where they're at, darling dear. It's where they want to be. And they want to be by your side. We saw the Six of Wands, darling dears. You are killing it in them streets. Whatever you're doing, darling dear. Whatever you've done. It could be a new job. You could be an entrepreneur. It could be a new car. A new home. Whatever you did. You could have lost weight. You may have straightened your teeth. I don't know what you did in your paradigm, divine feminine. But trust and believe. These hillbilly investigations are still being launched against you because someone is full on sorry for what they did. And look, the only card in the deck that got left out was the Six of Wands. How do they really feel about the successes that you've made in your life? Let's get right up in there. They would love to come back, darling dear. They want teamwork with you, darling dear. It's making you more and more attractive to them, right? Yes. Look! I say? This dealing, this demon, was it semen demon? This pedestrian sperm engineer, present energy. It's not where they're at, darling dear. They have the body, but the mind is free to think about you, divine feminine. They're attracted to you. They like what you're serving, right? And they will always, let me tell you something, divine feminine. You will always be on their mind as the one that got away, had to chew off your proverbial foot to get away. Yes. Leave this blown out run through where they are. They're getting exactly what the duck got. They get what the duck got, right? In this destabilized foundation, I told you, there's tension, arguments, and fighting. And when we see ones on the face, it also speaks about an STD. Something's kicking in their pantaloon, like Jackie Chan. And they're worried. They've got some kind of medical, let me tell you that already. It's not right. Something's just not right. In my Dr. Umar's voice? Don't you see this as suspicious? It's a suspicious set of circumstances. Wait, let me get another deck. Let me get this one. Let me go with my FP555s. I told you, they are free to think about you in their mind, divine feminine. Obsidian crystal, right? Evil eye bracelets, right? Obsidian crystals by your mirror. And if you've got a chariot of righteousness, either the snowflake obsidian or the black tourmaline, make sure it's in your car, because they would love for you to spin off the road, darling dear. They're being handled, darling dear. What they done did to you. That's why there's no need for revenge, divine feminine. Let them live the life that they called in, darling dear, because their partner, divine wants you to continue to keep your pinkies up. We've got the hangman, the number 12, darling dears. The 12 goes down to a 3, empress of everything. You know your worth, and you won't find yourself in such a unfortunate set of circumstances again. We've also got the Saturn coming through the rules and regulations. Listen, rules and regulations, darling dears. They're living that ghetto life, right? And you already know this. Your intuition is on 1000, especially like how Venus has entered Pisces. You know what's going on there, darling dears. Why? Because they're focused on you. All they can do is think about you. This dummy, but this run through, this dull-eyed one. Their secure hips really did take them to somewhere where they don't want to be. They thought they was going to ecstasy. And now they find themselves unable to eat or drink in that woman's or man's presence. Base of the deck. The cards say nothing more from this deck. Okay, I've got more decks, blood. What else? See, there's me here. What else? Hate that you're happy with. They hate the fact that you're happy without them. The bringer of the darkness. Are you kidding me, blood, brah, or sistrine? They did everything to bleed your happiness out of you. The same things that attracted to them to you in the first place, darling dear, is the same things that they try to be the head critique of, darling dear. Why? Because they haven't got your gangster, darling dears. Your essence, the whole everything about your fabulous, gorgeous, and loveliness, darling dear, is in you, not on you. And they wanted you so broken that you wouldn't remember who you are. But remember, divine feminine, when you had your come to Jesus moment and decided that the DNS wasn't for you, right? Your ancestors was high-fiving each other and twerking there in Kiefer, darling dears. And they did not take it lightly what this person or people did to you. They're going downhill, blood. Yeah, straight to hell in a handbasket. So it looks like they're leaving the mud hut and going further into the 7 levels of Dante's hell. Guess what? They deserve this. They're going down Bobby Brown. What? We're also going to be hearing a deathbed confession. I told you about the deviant sex. There's something kicking in their pantaloon like Jackie Chan, darling dears. What else is this, right? What did I say? If this don't make you want to hide your ovaries, darling dears. And thank your ancestral team for pulling you out like a mission impossible. They're living in their south node. So they're living in the karma of their ancestral team. All of the karma they've created, right? And for any progeny they have in that situation, they're going to get that karma. Remember, I told you that. It's a lot of karma, blood. Look! And I'm not respected in that house. Why? Because it went from the king of peas to the page of peas on its face, darling dear. Not respected where they are, right? And all the time they're not being respected where they are, you, divine feminine, are at ground zero. You have your own home, your own car, right? Your own career, and you take care of their progeny. And they're jealous of the progeny, darling dears. They was jealous of the attention and time you gave to the progeny, right? What did I say? That their partner is doing things to them, darling dears, to keep them tied to that situation, and they can't get out. We saw the world card on its face, and there's nothing wrong with our eyesight, right? Spell work is afoot. And they're dealing with little finger, somebody who likes to do things and hide their own hands, darling dears. They're getting it. What's this? And they've switched their medications. So if they're thinking they're getting over that STD, right, they're not going nowhere, blood, right? What did Cardi B say? When it's up, it's stuck, darling dear. Whatever they've got going on, it's stuck on them. The person switched their medications around. They don't even want them to be well. Divine feminine. This don't come out often. Every single day. I think for the past 3 or 4 days, you've been getting the blank rune, and now you've got the blank card for you to write whatever script you want, darling dears. Be careful what you wish for, divine feminine, because you're about to get it. You got the blank card. Bravo, divine feminine. Push clap. Love it, right? And they did that shit. Whatever thing, hey, whatever shizna you think they did that shit, and you already know this. I told you, Venus is in Pisces, hiding your intuition as well as your discernment. It's the house of the hidden enemy, darling dears. So whatever you felt they did that shit. They also going with the what? Escapism. So they're obviously what? Trying to get higher than the lion in Zion. And they haven't got the money. So they owe money to everyone, darling dear. What's this? Immature and no communication skills. Good God, which one of these dummy butts is it? Childhood abuse, mummy and daddy issues, undiagnosed psychosis, and what? A full-on nutter, right? A nutter. That's their business, blood. What did they do to you, darling dear? Your good, eloquent self that was blessed and highly favored. Well, guess what? No weapon they try to form against you, darling dears. Live rent-free in your cranium. I told you, if you're thinking about them, if you finish beating up yourself in the face like I just told you to do, divine feminine, you're still thinking about them, right? You must go to DEFCON 3, right? What's that? You get a 5-pound bag of white rice grains, darling dear. 5-pound bag of rice, and count them one at a time, right? And you're not allowed to use pen and paper. Go to DEFCON 3, because divine says, Isaiah 48:22, I already called it, no rest for the wicked, divine feminine. Don't think that they've gotten away with it. They're living in what, Guantanamo Bay? This is 911 Freddy Krueger Mud Hut, 2 streets over from the loser lane in the district of the damned. About to go on a field trip, darling dear. Yes, baby, on the short spiritual bus. Past the sign that says you can't F off past this point. Listen, we are not telling them nothing. You're doing what you must do, divine feminine. Minding your own business and getting great. Let's get one final deck. We're going to use the wellness deck, and then we're out of here because we're nearly at the 60. My, how time flies when we are looking upon other people's business. I told you, don't look on their social media, divine feminine. Just come over here. We're besties. I will look for you, and I will tell you everything. You'll get the usher every time you come here. What's this? The sunblock. Listen, what did I say? Sputnik is watching you. This mouth breather. It's not where they're at, darling dear. It's where they want to be. They'd love to be around you, right? They're watching, looking, lurking. This gaslighter, darling dears. And what? They can't focus on nothing but you. They're focusing on what they fumbled and lost. When you fumble and lose a big cat, divine feminine, or divine masculine, darling dear, you will cry into your fist for air, especially if you're with a dummy bat who lives in your wallet like it's what? and was it sarcophagus? I'm talking about sarcophaguses. Good God, I nearly started spluttering like Sylvester the cat. Or should I say, succotash. Look what's going on here. Bare sufferation, darling dear. Right? The ending was the new beginning for you, darling dear. I told you. When you go through a crisis in your life, darling dear, it's sent to wake you up. And not only that, it's to wake you up quickly because you're taking too long to wake up and realize how great you truly are, that you are a soldier for the light, divine feminine, and you are meant to be the survival kit for another deserving big cat, darling dears. What's this? Change, liberation, the death and ending of that situation. When you got rid of the basura, when you put the trash out, when you told them to fetch the black bags, fetch the black bags. Right? You allowed the raccoon to take them, and that is the best place for them to be because they are being handled. And you saw the temperance. You saw your ancestors. They just relaxed, blood, because they paid karma. They paid karma to sock it to them slowly, like a Chinese water torture. That same hammer that they used to break down everything that was going on in your life, darling. They tried to break down your own self-esteem, all the things that you was before you met them, right? They sabotaged you. You're rebuilding, right? And divine says you must keep repeating. Do the rinse and repeat. Keep repeating until you become an expert. I told you, 30 minutes a day on perfecting your gangster on whatever field you're in, darling dear. Divine is giving you a hammer, darling dear. And you are engaging. And it also speaks about what? A partnership. I told you, Venus is in Pisces, and them love them one in Nida, right? Pisces is like the bestie, right, of Neptune, the go-between that keeps sending love notes back between the two of them, darling dear, between Neptune and Venus. They love each other. This is a new beginning for you, darling dears. And some of you will be meeting someone that it may lead to engagement, but it also speaks about the engaging quality within you, divine feminine. Don't you ever let anyone dim your light again. You are the diamond, you are the prize, and they are being handled because your ancestral team did not take it lightly. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, toddle over to my Patreon, or simply come back here. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, darling dear, so you'll be notified when I'm kicking my way through these tarot streets again. And never you ever, divine feminine, take back the rubbish. It's like pooing and trying to stuff it back into your own bottom. Oh no. Let them wonder. Let them watch, darling dear. Continue to what? Sock it to them, divine feminine. Continue to get great and bend the matrix in their face. How dare they? They're going through it, mate. Hairline taking stuff, guys. Big cat way! Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat. Then I got you.